Hello and welcome back. We're just going to have a bit of a run round of a handful of things this week. It's been quite a peculiar one. So I've been sort of under the weather a bit with coughs and sniffles and so on. And everybody I've come across this week to one degree or another is under the weather. So we're getting on for mid-October. I suppose it's not surprising really. It is that time of year when that sort of thing begins to affect everybody. But quite pronounced this particular week. So let's just follow that around one more time. Let's see if we can go really wide with the lens this time. We'll come up over here. Having a bit of a change around with the trying things. So I've got some different coaches out the run with the Princess. You can see standing there at the station. We'll have a look at those in a moment. Got the 3F tender locomotive sitting there in the background. So we'll have a bit of a run with that as well. I think if I step back here and see if I can reach the controls over my shoulder here. And we'll bring this to rest as we come up to the station. I think we'll have a quick go with the diesel locomotive while we've got the Dublo underway. So we'll switch a few points as well. So that's the Duchess of Atholl there. Got that out as well. That's got the horseshoe motor. If you have a quick look at the insert picture there, you can see that. It's quite a lovely thing. So I'll just pop the controls down behind me and we'll have a fiddle with some of these controls. So I want to go straight with that one and straight with that one. And then I want number 18 to go curved. And then number 10 to go curved, which is the crossover just there. So all being well now, the diesel locomotive with the sort of maroon and cream coaches should move off. Let's give that a go. Good theory, and it all works. So this should run behind the Dublo station. I'm just going to tighten this lens up a little bit. Come in just that little bit tighter as it runs through there. Off into the distance there, I've got the mallard sitting at the elevated station. What do we think? One more time around? I do like those telegraph poles. I'm trying to get 7 more. I've calculated that I just need 7 more to go in the far corner of the railway. But the Train Collectors Society show coming up soon, so I'm hoping I may come across them. So in this corner here between the houses and the windmill, I think 7 would stand in there and tie it together quite nicely. Completely unnecessary, of course, but you have these things in mind. So we'll stop that there, and then we'll put those controls down and let's have a look at the triang item. So yeah, we've got the 3F tender locomotive. Let's make this go a bit tighter. So I've got that sitting there with the coaches we had on the Princess Elizabeth last week. I think it was last week. I'm losing track now because it's been such a peculiar week. I've got the diesel locomotive there. It's R751. I haven't put the details below. I've got some blue and grey Mark 1s behind that. I've got the Britannia. I think we had that with those on last time. Let's give this a bit of power. We'll give this a run round. So again, information, I'll just pop it at the bottom of the screen. So I think we're just going to have a bit of a run today with this stuff. We'll get up a little bit higher. So this isn't the locomotive from my Midlander set. This is another one that sort of well, it's got a box, but it's a homemade box. If you have a look at the insert picture there, had it for quite some time. It's fairly beaten up. All the detailing along the pipework handrail down the side is all missing. I think we'll go probably one more on this one. Let's go nice and wide and come in really tight along here. Yeah, if you have a look at that, definitely been handled. We won't say I've seen better days, because it's still rather a good fun to play with. But I thought those coaches go quite well with that. I suppose I'll get a little bit closer in there. I was thinking I'll stay close to the controls, so I'll bring it to a stop when it comes to the station, but I think we can probably afford to step back a little bit now and do that as well. Gentle stop there. So let's see if we can have a go with this diesel locomotive. So again, this is a lovely, well played with one, runs relatively well, slightly noisier in one direction than the other, often the case with these motor bogies. Let's give this some power. Give that a run around there. So I think this model was more of these sold in the slightly later blue livery. I'm just going to take some power off this because I think that's running a little bit too quickly. This coach has a bit more of a wobble on than the rest. I was worried there that it jumped off the rails. We'll have a look at those and then step back. So I'm just going to alter the focus here. I've just knocked something on the camera and I don't believe we've got autofocus anymore. There we go. I don't know what I touched, but I'd converted the camera to sort of manual focus accidentally whilst I was shooting. I must have just brushed the back of the screen. The problem with touch sensitive screens, you can accidentally do things. So let's just let that run around one more time, and I think we'll just pop it in the sidings here and we'll put it to rest, and perhaps we'll get the Princess Elizabeth out. So next time around we'll put it into one of these long sidings here. So we'll just make that lens a little bit longer. We'll stop that there. And then we'll just fiddle with this point here. So we'll make that one curved. And then I think we'll change that one as well. So we'll put it on the line closest to the Dublo station. Whoops. So let's go for some power. And then a nice gentle stop at the end. Just got it in time before we run into the buffers at the end of the line there. Let's just put the controls down behind me for a second. So it only just fits in there as well, isn't it? I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll just put the Britannia in there as well while we're at it. So we'll switch that one. So make that one straight, and then we'll change the points here. So we'll make that one curved. So I'm having to re-grip the camera here. So we'll pull that one out of the station. And we'll bring this one all the way alongside there. There we go. Perhaps I should have put those the other way around, but never mind. So we'll pop the controls down. We'll sort out that point work well, just whilst it's on the mind. There we go. That one, and then let's give that one a go. So I'm just going to change the handheld back over here. So we'll pop that one in there. Back on handheld. Give that a little bit of power. Give the 3F tender locomotive a run. And we've got those coaches. Interesting choice they made making the different variations of these, I think. I think they ended up making quite a lot of them in the end. And there were the two different variations of the 3F tender loco, weren't there? There was also the weathered version in the old Smoky set for a period of time as well, wasn't there? So let's switch this one. We'll go curved and curved. Not thinking the correct way around. So the beautiful Princess here, the early 70s one. And we've got the LMS, also early 70s coaches. If you have a look at the insert pictures there, you can see when those coaches showed up. I think we'll just finish off with a little bit of running from that. So we'll go for some power here. We'll just let that one gently run away. But ideally, we'll get something else out and have a fiddle over the week. I'm feeling a lot better than I was earlier last week, so I didn't even feel like just sitting here playing with the trains in the evening. I was just sort of absolutely wiped out. But I think this Princess probably looks better with these coaches than the ones we ran it with before. But you can choose whichever you like, really. But thanks again for looking in. Hugely appreciated. If you look back again next time, we'll definitely try and have something else interesting to have a look at. Goodbye now.